we all just need to remember that we have options. We need to think with that abundance mindset when it comes to every aspect of your life. I think a lot of people just think of money when it comes to abundance, which is a key component, obviously, but you can have abundance in a lot of ways. You can have an abundance of freedom. You can have an abundance of love. You can have an abundance of opportunities, you know? You just have to train your mind to think big and be expansive when it comes to anything that you want. What's good? Hi, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Yap Therapy. I feel like I haven't been saying Yap Therapy lately, and I need to not do that because the whole concept of Yap Therapy started here on a whim, and I kind of decided to lead with it at the beginning of each episode. So I need to remember to say that because, hello, if you're new here, this is Yap Therapy, where we're going to yap about a lot of things. We're going to relate it to astrology. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk our shit. So welcome to Yap Therapy. So I think I'm a little late when it comes to this particular story, but nonetheless, we're going to talk about it because it's juicy. So I'm not sure if you guys saw that video of Jason Kelce. And if you don't know who Jason Kelce is, he's an NFL player, ex-NFL player, NFL player. He is the brother of Travis Kelce. He is dating Taylor Swift. Like, you have to be living under a rock if you don't know all that. Anyway, so I saw this video of Jason Kelce. He's at some event, and there's a bunch of fans all over him. So he's just, like, surrounded by people, right? And there's this one person who essentially, I believe, calls his brother some sort of slur. And you just see... he's been getting in his face, obviously, because y'all know how some of these fans are crazy. They are getting in his face, but he's kind of just like pushing through. But then I guess the fan obviously takes it too far and says a slur. So then you just see Jason Kelce turn around, grab the fan's phone, this person's phone that's talking a lot of shit. He like Super Mario powers it up, like jumps up and throws that fucking phone to the ground. Obviously, it's shattered. And it was honestly, it must have felt so good because me just watching it as a viewer, I was like, yes, I am on your side. Get it? Like, I am here for celebrities or for people, just people in general, clapping back, okay? People can't just get away with disrespecting the fuck out of you. And I think a lot of times people think when there's a celebrity or anyone, you know what I mean, in public or whatever, they think they can just get away with murder. And it's like, no, like just because they're a celebrity doesn't mean that they all of a sudden can't respond to you. But like people, I guess it comes back to like that distorted perception that we have when it comes to celebrities or people in the media. I think a lot of people just assume that they're like different, and a lot of people's bubbles get bursted when a celebrity claps back. But it's like, this is what you get. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just do what you want, expect people not to respond to it. And I'm here for celebrities responding to it because, again, people need to learn boundaries. People need to respect boundaries. And obviously, I feel like a lot of times celebrities don't do anything because they're scared of being sued. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like fan behavior has gotten worse with social media. And it's just wild to see. So yeah, when I saw that video, I was like, oh my God, yes, savage mode. And I wanted to find out what his sign is. Come to find out, Jason Kelce is a Scorpio. And it just makes a whole lot of sense because A, you just don't fuck with a Scorpio. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, you just don't. We already have so much anger just waiting to be released. Like, actually, if you want to fuck with me, thank you. Thank you for now giving me the opportunity to seek revenge and to release some of my natural anger. So of course this Scorpio man was like, no, not here, not today. I'm gonna teach you a lesson today because listen, when you fuck with the Martian, prepare for war. Prepare for war, and I hope you're ready. You know what I mean? Because we don't really match the crime. You know what I mean? We don't match the initial crime, our rage. We tend to like triple it. And no, we won't feel bad about it. Because you started it. Like, I don't care how that sounds. Like, you started it. So if you're going to come up to someone and you're going to talk shit about their family to their face, yeah, you getting your phone broken is probably the least of your worries, because in a normal setting, you might get socked in the face. You know what I mean? Hey, I am not a advocate for violence, but there are certain things and there are certain subjects that you should not be running your mouth about, especially to strangers. You know what I mean? Talking about their family, calling them a slur, you are going to get your ass whooped. And your phone breaking is probably the most G-rated thing that can happen to you after. Like, you think about, certain signs. I think a lot of like air signs, or earth signs that are in the public eye, they probably have an easier time with these type of situations, because I could just see them just walking away, or maybe not even being out and about that much, doing, obviously air signs will be, but maybe earth signs not so much. They keep to themselves. When you are going to go against a fire or water sign celebrity, you should be prepared for some dramatics, and you should be prepared for emotions. I think it's really, really unfair to assume that just because someone is in the public eye, suddenly they can't fight back, I think that makes no sense. And I think also with Pluto going into Aquarius, there's going to be a sense of like equality when it comes to how people view each other. I think the value that we have for celebrities is going to be a lot more balanced to normal people during Pluto and Aquarius. Like, I think people are just going to realize that celebrities or influencers or whatever, like, they're not all that. And I don't mean like all that, like they ain't shit. Like, they're not like above anyone else. I could just see Pluto and Aquarius really, really doing that and shifting people's mindsets when it comes to individualism and the collective. We're just going to see that balance more, in my opinion. And I think people are going to be more free to express themselves, you know what I mean, without overthinking how other people will view it. Aquarius loves to share their truth, you know what I mean? They are also ruled by Uranus, so they're gonna say out of pocket shit. Like, Aquarius energy will say something weird, will share their weird truth or whatever, something that is different than what everyone else is doing. I think everyone's gonna feel more comfortable to speak their actual mind, and that's gonna be nice. Mini story time of something annoying that I had to deal with today. And speaking of, Scorpios, getting annoyed in public or whatever, I was already having like an annoying day, and I was like, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm gonna go to the gym. Like, when you're like going to the gym or you're gonna go on a walk, but your mindset is so trash. Like, I sure hope that the workout is gonna do something for me and is like releasing some negative energy, because when you're in a bad mood and you're even on your way to the gym or you're on a walk, like, you truly feel so much rage. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in a bad mood, I feel rage, but I still have to go do shit. You know what I mean? So I was already in an annoyed mood, and then I'm going to the gym. So I go to the gym and I'm behind my elliptical, about to take off my sweatshirt so I can work out. I had my AirPods in. You guys, I'm taking off my sweatshirt. This never happens, by the way. I'm taking off my sweatshirt and one of my AirPods falls out. And I'm like, oh, that's annoying, but whatever. Like, I finish it and I'm like, I could have swore it fell right here. I can't find my AirPod. I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, I'm literally about to have a BF, a bitch fit. Like, truly, I was like, oh my God, like, this would happen. This fucking would happen right now. Like, I was just looking for another reason to decide that this day just fucking sucks. And when that happened, I was like, yep, fuck today. And I'm just looking for it. And then there's like people behind me. Not that it matters, but I can't help but think that like everyone's, when you're in your head, they're like, oh, look at that dumb bitch. Look what she did. I hate that for me. And I have to stop assuming that. People are in their own world. We have to remember that. People are in their own world. They're not thinking about you as much as you're thinking about you. I'm also reminding myself of that. So now I can't find it, And I'm just so annoyed. I'm like looking under shit. And I'm like, this is so fucking annoying. So then through some amazing detective work, if you can call it that, I walk down the stairs, because then when I go down the stairs, I'm like eye level with that next floor where the ellipticals are, and maybe I can see where it is if it went under somewhere. So I walk down, I'm like looking, I see it. That motherfucker is like right under one of the ellipticals. I'm like, okay, I know where it is. So I go up there and I'm reaching, right? I'm reaching. I'm like, where the fuck is it?
Motherfucker, where is it? Where the is it? I swear to God. You laughing, girl? You trying to laugh?
And I swear it's so, I have this much room to shove my hand under and try and get that thing out. I'm like, I can't find it. Finally, like the tip, barely the tip of my middle finger hits it. And I'm like, okay, there you are. You guys, I'm trying to pull it out. Oh, it's so hard. I'm like, I think I got it. Boom. I push it back further. I swear I wanted to scream. I really did. I was like, this is actually the worst day of my life. Dramatic, I know. But that's how it felt. And I'm like, okay, like, that's a lost cause. I need to go ask someone for help. And like, this is just like I already don't want to be in public. What about that? Don't you understand, universe? Like, I had to be around people because I wanted to get a workout in. And this is how you do me? So now I have to walk downstairs and socialize, obviously, talk to the front desk. And he looks at me and he's like, I'm like, hey, like my AirPod's under one of the machines accidentally fell. I can't get it out. Like, can someone come help me? He was like looking at me and he was like, yeah. And he's like talking to his boss. They're trying to figure out what to do. And I'm like, if you have like a ruler or like anything. And it takes him like a while to like find something. Meanwhile, he's like talking to me, telling me his little story about the time that he lost his AirPod, which is nice or whatever. Like, thank you for trying to relate to me, but like also like I don't give a fuck right now. Like, respectfully. You know what I mean? It's not about the story. It's not about him. I'm sure he's a great person. I'm annoyed. You know, I came here to burn off my rage, but now I feel more rage. Anyway, so finally his boss comes and he brings me scissors. And I'm like, perfect. So I take the scissors and he's like, no, that's not how you hold scissors. And I'm like, am I getting punked? Like someone's punking me, right? And then he says it so seriously. And then he laughs. He's like, yeah, like I just turned like 50 something and I just learned how to use scissors. And I'm like, okay, at least he's being funny and nice. Again, in my head, leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Like, leave me the fuck alone. You guys, let me be a miserable bitch in peace, okay? This is what I was feeling. So I go upstairs. Obviously, I'm holding scissors, and two people just look at me funny. And I'm like, I thought we were all in our own little world, you know? I thought no one noticed what anyone else is doing. Suddenly, people want to stare at me with scissors. Like, clearly, I have an intention here. I'm not just walking around the gym with some scissors. So I go there and like on my way there, I'm giving myself a pep talk of like, it's okay, Sarah. Like, you got this. You can do it. Because at that point, my energy was so depleted and I just felt like the day was going to get worse. And I was like, if this doesn't work, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to be the girl that like goes downstairs and is like, I need something else. Like, can someone come and like move it? Like, I didn't want to deal with that back and forth. Like, I was about ready to just lose my AirPod Pro. I have to say Pro because it was not cheap. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God. Like, if this doesn't work, I'm just parting ways with you because fuck this shit. That's how I felt. So I go down, I bend over. I'm like, you know what? I got this. Get it in there. I flick it. It comes out. By the grace of God, it comes out. I got my workout in. I felt good about it. I felt good that I got a workout in. Obviously, you never regret a workout after the fact. But the journey, the prequel, insanity, not necessary. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my little story time of the day. Actually, let me see. What was the moon in today? Because that is just, of course. Of course, the moon is in Aries. Of course, I was fucking angry and annoyed and had a short fuse and was itching for a fight. Honestly, it all just makes sense. If you have an Aries moon, honestly, good job. Like, you know, if you have an Aries moon and you haven't killed somebody yet, props to you. You know what? You deserve an award because the anger that Aries moons feel and Aries moon transits make most people feel is insanity. I just feel like during Aries moon transits, I either have a headache or I'm dehydrated or I want to fight, you know? But on the off chance that it's like good vibes, I feel really, really energized to like go after the things that make me happy. You know, it's like very motivating as well. But it can be very, very intense when it comes to rage. Like if anything is bothering you, it intensifies times 10 during Aries moon transits. For real, for real. So when I say if you have an Aries moon, I love you. I'm proud of you. Every day you don't get into a fight. Every day you don't humble someone. Every day you don't yell. Honestly, is a day well lived. You know what I mean? Like I said, you deserve a prize, baby. You're doing good. You're doing great. In other Scorpio season news, this one's good. This one is good. I'm going to read the headline. I'm going to read just straight from the headline. North Korean soldiers hooked on corn with a P, after getting internet access in Russian army. The fact that this came out during Scorpio season, the sign that is associated with sex and sexual desires and intimacy and all that jazz, like, that is insane. Like, that is so funny. Like, these men, they've been waiting for this moment. And, like, truth be told, like, I almost wonder, like, when they're connecting with other soldiers, you know, from other locations, like, are they giving them the tea? You know what I mean? Are they describing it? No, they're probably not sharing those stories. They're probably not. No, what am I talking about? Honestly, though, that is insane. And I'm happy for you. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Who's to say that they don't deserve to see that shit, you know? Good for them. But also, I would feel like, how is their productivity? Like, what is that looking like? Because initially I was like, oh my God, like, are they distracted? Because now they have all this access to corn. But then maybe I'm thinking, maybe because of that, now so much stress is relieved that their attention spans are that much better. Their productivity is on the up. So it could really go one of two ways. And I think, you know, the second option that I just stated, it's really giving them the benefit of the doubt, because at the end of the day, humans are humans. And yeah, but I just thought that was extremely funny. And I mean, I want updates. Like, what is happening here? Like, is this something that they're controlling now? Or are they just kind of letting them go at it? You know what I mean? That someone figure it out and they're like, this is becoming a problem. You know, and this is an issue. I need to know the details. Like, I'm very, very fascinated by the details. But also I worry. I worry for them because it's almost like they've been thrown into the deep end and maybe they need to chill. You know what I mean? Maybe they need to relax. And honestly, they probably had such vivid imaginations before they were given this opportunity. And I would hate for their vivid imaginations to go to waste. You know, they just like built a muscle in their brain every time they had to, you know, without corn. But now, because of corn, I don't know, maybe their story building in their head won't be as strong, you know? Their creativity will be diminished. And I don't want that for them either. I want to talk to you guys about the importance of checking in with your own energy before and after any experience. And I want to talk about it because I recently went through an experience where I almost knew what it was going to be. And then afterwards, it solidified exactly how I felt about it. And I think a lot of us that are on any sort of spiritual journey, we are trying to figure out how to trust our intuition, right? How to strengthen our bond with our intuition and trust it more and really understand what it is, where that voice is coming from. And I think a lot of times it's all about also energy. And, you know, we hear the whole thing with like, if you're feeling depleted after hanging out with a friend, that's not your friend. And, you know, it's not a good friendship because, you know, you feel like they're just draining you. And I think the same could be said for any sort of experience, you know, like literally any sort of experience, whether it's the type of workout you do. You know what I mean? Like some people, they think, okay, everyone does cardio or everyone does weightlifting or everyone does yoga. That's what I need to do. But you hate it. The whole time you hate it, you just don't feel good. Like you're anxious to do it, all that shit. Like you need to be aware of the fact that your energy is telling you, your body's telling you, your intuition's telling you, I don't like that thing. So you can figure out something else to do. Or even like, let's say you're interviewing for a job and you know, you want to put your best foot forward, but like after an interview, if you feel weird, if you feel off, if you felt like the conversation didn't flow, or, you know, if you felt like there was a disconnect between you and the interviewer, trust that energy. You know what I mean? Trust your intuition. And I think before the experience that I went through, I was like kind of like trying to rush through it. I'm like, I can't wait for this thing to be over. And then during it, I felt a little off. And then afterwards, I was just like annoyed with it. You know what I mean? And like nothing horrible happened in this experience, but it just made me feel yucky. It just made me feel weird. And I think a lot of times we assume that something big needs to happen for you to feel like this is off. This is not for me. This doesn't feel like it's in alignment with me. And I want us to practice discernment. And, you know, even if the big thing doesn't happen, if your energy is telling you, hey, something was off about that, or you keep thinking about the situation and it makes you feel weird, or you're just like, oh, why did it happen that way? That was so strange. Or you know what I mean? When you think about it, you don't have any positive feelings or thoughts. That thing is not for you. That person is not for you. That situation is not for you. That environment is not for you. And nothing big needs to happen for you to decide that for yourself, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know what it is, or I don't know who taught us this, but just the whole concept of like making things work. You know what I mean? Like being flexible and making things work and all of that shit, right? But the thing is, I think actually what we really need to focus on as a society is saying no to things more. You know, I think a lot of people have a hard time understanding that no is a full sentence. Like you don't really have to explain why. And that could literally just be based off your intuition. The answer to something could be no. Do you want to do this? No. Do you want to come here? No. Do you want to accept this job offer? No. You know what I mean? Like whatever it may be. I think a lot of us think that there needs to be some big excuse as to why we're saying no. But even if your energy is telling you no, this doesn't feel right, go with that. That's literally your intuition begging you to listen to it. And that's something that I'm also practicing. So if you're on this journey, I'm on this journey with you, is listening to myself and understanding that, hey, like this just made me feel weird. And because this situation made me feel weird, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. And that's okay, because there'll be other options. That's what we really need to remember. And honestly, even just this conversation reminds me of something I saw on social media. It was so funny. The post said, don't blame a clown for acting like a clown. Blame yourself for going to the circus. Oop. Do you feel humbled? You know? Because I think that will resonate for everyone at some point in your life. You know what I mean? You blame the clown. Maybe till this day you blame the clown. But let's figure out why you got tickets to the circus. And not just tickets. You got a 3-day pass. You got a 3-year pass. You know? Something to consider. I think it's really, really easy to blame other people. But after the first time someone shows you who they are and you choose to stay, I'm going to hold your hand when I say you are choosing that situation. So you must like it, right? Like I hope you like it because you are actively choosing it. 1 year I got a new job and I was excited. I was really excited for this role. And then I hated it. I fucking hated it. I hated it so much. I swear to God. It just felt, even before it started, you know what I mean? The experience of onboarding and all that shit was just so draining. I couldn't put my finger on it. And then when the training started and the actual job started, I just hated it. It just felt off. I would cry in the morning, most of the mornings, just because of how much I hated it. And I just felt dumb, right? I felt dumb because I put myself in this situation. I'm the one that looked for a new job. I'm the one that left my previous job because I wanted something else. So I felt like I made the worst decision, and I felt like it was my fault that I did this, and I just couldn't get out of it because what are you doing? Like, you just got a new job. And then I decided to just trust myself. Obviously, I hopped on a phone call with like my sister, got advice from my boyfriend, and I realized, okay, like I'm miserable And there's no way that this is going to be my reality for like the next however many months or years. Like, this is just not it. And then I just reached back out to the recruiter I was working with when it came to another role I was interviewing for. And I dropped out of that, process because I accepted this job, my shitty job that I hated. And I got the other job, and the other job was way better and it paid more. It was amazing. And oh my God, I loved that job. I love my team. I love the culture. It was a vibe. Like, I just felt good. I felt happy. I felt at peace. I still felt like I was being challenged and learning new things, but I wasn't miserable there. I didn't hate what I was doing, And if I wouldn't have trusted my gut, I probably would have just stayed at that first job and been miserable the whole time. And I was doing myself a disservice by doing that. And actually, a lot of other people in my life gave me the advice to like stick it out. Like, you never know, like it might get better. And while I appreciate, everyone giving me that advice, I still feel like I'm glad I didn't listen to them, because to me, I was like, I don't need like another 2 weeks or another month to figure out if this is good for me. Like, I hate it. I just need to trust that. I need to trust that. And also, I need to tell myself that I deserve better. You know what I mean? If this is making me miserable, I deserve better. I deserve better than feeling anxious and annoyed. We spend a lot of time at our jobs, you guys, unwillingly. You know what I mean? Actually, like, I would love it if everyone could just work 20 hours a week and get paid enough money to pay off all their debt, buy a house, vacation around the world. Is that too much to ask for all of us, the people? You know what I mean? Come on. Anyway, we spend a lot of time at our jobs. Like, if you hate your job, if you're miserable, if you don't like what you do, if you don't like your team, the environment, whatever, life is way too fucking short to be doing that shit every day and be miserable. And I just knew I deserved better, and I got better. But I had to trust myself and my energy in order to do that. And if I were to have listened to other people, I would have stayed there longer and been miserable longer. So you really have to trust yourself and trust your intuition, because your body is not lying to you. When you feel anxiety, when you feel like something's off, when you feel like you have to overthink instead of just doing, you're just in your head the whole time, it's probably not the right situation for you. And I feel like the same goes even for relationships, If you can't just be present with the person, even friendships, if you're just in your head a lot, if you leave after the hangout, whether it's with a romantic partner or friendships, and you're in your head about how it went, and you're in your head about what they meant about that, and are they going to reach out, or am I going to have to be the one to set it up, or whatever, again, not the right person for you, not the right friendship for you. Because if it's someone that you naturally vibe with, you leave, you're happy, your energy feels good, but you're not like overthinking about that hangout session. You're not overthinking about that date. You're not overthinking about when you're going to see them next. Are you going to be the one that has to set it up? Because you know it's going to flow. You know it's going to work because you guys are in the same frequency, right? It just feels right. You don't have to think as much. You just have to be. And when you are just being, you feel way more relaxed. You're more grounded. And I've said it before on this channel, and I'll say it again. We all just need to remember that we have options. We need to think with that abundance mindset when it comes to every aspect of your life. I think a lot of people just think of money when it comes to abundance, which is a key component, obviously. But you can have abundance in a lot of ways. You can have an abundance of freedom. You can have an abundance of love. You can have an abundance of opportunities, You just have to train your mind to think big and be expansive when it comes to anything that you want. That's how you will leave toxic or bad situations easier and faster, is when your mind is telling you, you can leave. We got other options. You know what I mean? Like, you do not have to stay here. You do not have to stay with this person. Like, we'll get someone else, You just have to tell yourself that. And I think that's something that every single person can learn from Sagittarius energy, the most optimistic, free-thinking sign in the Zodiac. Like, they truly know that they will always get something better. And because their mind is telling them that, and they don't see it any other way, and they refuse to accept anything less, they do get better every time. And once you realize that you have that power, you almost become addicted to it because you know what you got, and you know that you can manifest anything you want, and that there's always a better option. So you should learn that from Sagittarius energy for sure. Another thing that everyone should learn from Sagittarius energy is when you're mad at people, laugh at them. Like, truly laugh at them. Most people won't expect it. And it's just so funny because it'll probably confuse people, you know, when someone is bugging you or if someone's disrespecting you or they're being weird. If you just laugh at them, I swear the ball's in your court. The power that you hold now it's almost confusing for them because you got the power back without even saying anything. And now they're trying to understand how the hell this happened. And they're going to try and do damage control. And they're going to be talking to themselves, essentially, which is very, very embarrassing. So that is also another tip that I have for y'all. If someone makes you mad, if people make you angry and they want to trigger you, they want to push you, the easiest thing you can do is just laugh. And while you're laughing, I need you to take a deep breath, you know, internally, so you don't say anything back, you know? Now listen, if you already have a perfect comeback and you just are dying to get it out, do it. But in situations where you feel like, oh my God, how dare you? How fucking dare you? And you don't want to just stare at them, just laugh. Also, it's releasing. The energy is releasing and they'll be confused and you can walk away and they'll probably think for the rest of their life, what was so fucking funny? And they'll never know. I found this funny Zodiac list, which we're going to do because, come on now. So it's, you got them mad, ... How each Zodiac element basically acts when you get them mad, all right? So I'm going to post it here, but you guys, the quality I know is trash. When I found this list on Google, like, this was the quality that I had. So I can't really do much about the quality of the picture. I apologize that it's blurry as fuck, but we persist. So, okay, you got them mad. Prepared to die. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Yeah. It's going to happen one way or another. And obviously, we're not being literal here, you know. Let's just play into the fantasy of, you know, like, you're going to die. I feel like when it comes to Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, like, Scorpio is known to be vengeful and, like, angry, but, like, y'all be forgetting that the other two water signs are still very much emotional. And although it may take longer for Pisces to get mad, that's not what we're talking about. It's you get them mad. And when you get them mad, be prepared to die. You already know Cancer is just waiting to shank somebody. I can almost guarantee, I don't know. There needs to be, like, some sort of study done on, like, people that have, like, poisoned their, like, cheating husband. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all of those stories of, like, snapped. We need to figure out their signs because I am prepared to bet on the fact that there's a lot of water signs there. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I'm thinking because, listen, when water signs get mad, now they have this influx of energy that needs to go towards something. And what better way to release that energy than to get rid of you? You know what I mean? Even if you just listened at the beginning of this episode with my story time for Scorpio, like, when you get me mad, I see red, you know, and I don't see anything else, and I feel justified in expressing my anger. Like I said, I'm a Martian, so I'm always ready for battle. And if you get me mad, well, now you're going to get my wrath, and I hope you're prepared. Pisces is like, don't push me. Like, why are you pushing me? Why are you doing this to me? I don't want to be here. But once they're pushed far enough, they're crazy. You know what I mean? They're absolutely crazy. And the crazy thing about Pisces is that, you know, once they come out of their little rage fest, they're going to be like, oops, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what happened there? Like, that wasn't me, you know? That was in their own little fantasy. That wasn't them, is what Pisces feels. And Cancer, they'll double down on it. You know what I mean? They'll double down on it, and they won't even feel the need to explain themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they'll just let you know that because you got me mad now for a long time, I feel like I have control over you. Because remember when you got me mad 2 months ago? I still remember that you did that to me. So now I'm going to be an absolute raging towards you. Okay, the next category is they'll scream at you until your ears bleed. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah, if you're looking for a verbal fight, if you're waiting for someone to just give you, you know what I mean, clap back, that is a fire sign. When fire signs are mad, that is when they do their best work, in my humble opinion. Fire signs are already loud. Like, their indoor voices are everyone else's outdoor voices. That's just how they are. You know, they're passionate people. So when they're mad, they will be screaming. And the theatrics are very much there. Like Aries being a Martian, again, very much welcoming this energy. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be mad? I'll show you mad. You know what I mean? And they're impulsive with it. They're impulsive as hell. Like I talked about. Aries moon transit. Aries moon transits make people very, very angry. So when you get an Aries mad, they will feel the need to put you in your place in front of everybody to show who's the dominant one here. And Leo, obviously, they're here for the drama. Like, they're going to be yelling at you. And like I always say, Leo wants you to take a bite so they can have this monologue. You know what I mean? So they can tell you and yell at you why it's your fault that now they're feeling all this anger. Like, Leo actually wants to perform when they're angry. Well, Leo wants to perform no matter what emotion is happening. But, you know, rage and sadness, that's when, you know, actors and actresses' best work comes out, you know? So Leo can really, really perform their little hearts out when they're angry. And Sagittarius, like I always talk about, they're going to bring the dramatics with it, and they're going to bring the jokes. You know, they're going to be hollering. They're going to be laughing at you. Like I talked about in the last segment, when, you know, you get a Sagittarius mad, they're going to laugh. They're going to laugh, and then they're going to call you out. They are going to call you out. And Sagittarius has a wealth of knowledge, you know. They are constantly thinking about people and how they're showing up in the world, their truth. So they're willing to yell that truth at you. They're waiting to call you out. And they're going to yell at you while they're doing so, you know. Okay, the next category is, haha, you don't exist anymore. And that's the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, honestly, I'm jealous of how easily these earth signs can walk away when someone gets them mad. Like, they have mastered the art of detachment. Also, I feel like Aquarius has mastered the art of detachment when it comes to getting them mad. But yeah, the earth signs, they're still grounded. They're still doing their thing. They could give two fucks, you know, that you've gotten them mad. They're not giving you energy back. Like, if fire signs are going against earth signs when they're mad, like, you know, when they're fighting, I feel like fire signs are going to be very, very frustrated because earth signs are not giving fire signs the energy that they're looking for. Like, fire signs want to yell and fight and be passionate, and earth sign is just looking at you silently, like ready to walk away. Earth signs have immense self-control when it comes to being triggered. That's not to say that they don't get triggered, and that's not to say that Taurus's bull doesn't come out when they reach, you know, their limit. But for the most part, all three earth signs, when you get them mad, they're looking at you and they're deciding that they don't have energy for this and that they don't feel the need to explain themselves to you, so they walk away. And that's something I think a lot of us other signs are probably jealous of when it comes to the earth signs, is their ability to remain calm even when people piss them off. Okay, and the final category is the silent treatment, and that's the air sign. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And that's so funny because when have they ever been silent? You know, are you silent or were you silenced? You know what I mean? You know what I mean. With the air signs, you do really actually need to be careful, because yeah, if you got them mad enough to the point where the air signs, the ones that are always yapping, are now silent, yeah, I would be afraid. I would be scared, because what are they plotting? What are they scheming? It's really easy for air signs to let go of shit. You know what I mean? They're very detached in that way, especially Aquarius. And they just really let shit go easily. You know, that's really nice for them. That's great for them. But like I said, when you reach a point as an air sign where someone has actually gotten you mad and now you're silent, now you're reeling and you're thinking about all the ways that this person has pissed you off before. Because air signs let a lot of shit go. They really do. Because to them, it's just not worth it. They're on to better things. They want to experience happy emotions. But when they reach that point where they're so mad that they're silent, they are going to be thinking about all the times that they've let shit go. And now your air sign friend is probably going to come back after this silent treatment and give you a verbal ass whooping. You know what I mean? Because usually air signs are yapping about, you know what I mean, good things, happy things, you know what I mean, what they learned, all that jazz, right? But now when an air sign finally took some time off and reflected and, you know, was in their head thinking about you and this relationship and the fact that you got them mad, they're going to come back with some notes, you know? They're going to come back and eloquently describe how they feel about you and how they feel about said fight. And at that moment in time, you better be ready, because they're not going to hold back, and you're probably going to be surprised as the receiver of that energy from an air sign, because usually they let shit go. You're going to be surprised because you're like, oh yeah, I pushed them too far. Yeah, you probably did, because air signs usually let shit go. So if you got an air sign mad, you might be the problem. All right, you guys, that is the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation and Thank you for hanging out with me and being here during Yap Therapy. If you are listening on Apple or on Spotify, don't forget to go and leave me a review because that helps me out a lot. And if you're watching on YouTube, hi. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. I love you guys so much. Gonna link the socials here, and I'll see you guys next week.